Hi everyone, this is Nia and today I'm going to be painting a mini island home. This is inspired by the Ghibli movie Ponyo, but it's just my version of a mini house. I'm going to start by sketching out the house in the middle of the page. I'm just going to make a very simple and small house since I want to add many different elements surrounding the house, so I want to make sure that everything will fit. After I draw on the house, I'm going to add the land for the island, making sure I like the shape so I can build the rest of the trees and surrounding area around the island. I want the house itself to be surrounded by trees, so here I've included 3 types of trees: a smooth pine tree on the right hand side, pointy pine tree on the left hand side, which I can play around with the height, and some regular trees to fill in the rest of the space. In front of the island, I'm going to add some smooth rock or stone formation. This is just to add extra decorative elements, and I'm also going to add a tiny fence in front of the house. In front, I'm going to add a little dock for a boat, and here I'm just going to quickly sketch out the water edges to see if the spacing will be okay with the current composition. Next to the dock, I planned to paint a tiny boat, but it was a bit difficult for me to get the spacing right, and I've erased so many times, so I kind of gave up on the idea. But if you would like, I think it'll be really cute to add that extra detail to your painting. I'm just going to erase one more time, and here I'm finally happy with the position of the dock. I'm also going to add steps going down towards the dock. Once I'm done, I'm going to clean out my outline and also erase the edges of the water since I don't need it anymore. And to clean the outline, I basically tapped my eraser to get rid of the really harsh lines. You can also use a kneadable eraser for this, and then I just realigned the elements to make it a bit neater and to have a lighter and cleaner outline. For those of you who like to get straight to painting, I'll have this outline available in my coffee shop. You can even use the traceable for the base of the island, then customize the rest of the elements to your liking. Once I'm done with the sketch, I'm going to go over the colors. This is Graphite Grey by Holbein, Graphite Grey by Daniel Smith, Aquarius Green by Roman Szmal, Sap Green by Holbein, Cobalt Blue Hue by Holbein, Terra Verde by Holbein, Titanium Gold Ochre by Schmincke, Crimson Lake by Holbein, Sepia by Holbein, and I'm also going to use Bleed Proof White by Dr. P.H. Martens. My apologies, I forgot to press record, but the first thing I did was to use a mix of titanium gold ochre and sap green to paint the grassy area. Then I just add a bit more sap green and a thicker consistency of the same mix to paint the steps. For the bush in front of the house, I just used the same mix, but this time I added more titanium gold ochre in the mixture. By the way, I recently painted with gouache, and I feel like this painting would actually be easier to paint in gouache since the spaces are quite small, and this way the paint won't run as much. I also find that gouache has a bit more vibrancy when it comes to pastel colors, so I think if I were to do this painting again, I would definitely use gouache, and if you have gouache available at home, I would probably recommend for you to use it instead of watercolors or use a mixture of both. Now moving on to the trees, I started out by using the light green mix from Sap Green and Titanium Gold Ochre. And this is just to paint the highlights of parts of the tree. Then I follow it up with a darker version of the color with more sap green in the mix. If I want to darken the color further, then I would add Cobalt Blue Hue to the sap green. And this is just for the extra dark areas near the edges or behind the light green that I've already painted. I'm going to apply the same thing to the trees on the right hand side as well. I'm painting those trees on the edges first, and while I wait for them to dry, I'm going to move on to paint the pine trees. For the pine tree on the right, I'm going to use a mix of Terra Verde and Cobalt Blue Hue in a medium consistency, and you can see that the color is quite dark. I'm just going to spread it as a flat color. As for the pine tree on the left, I'm going to use the same mix with added cobalt blue hue so the color is a bit more blue, but this time I'm going to use a light consistency. I intentionally wanted to make this color a pastel bluish green, and as for the pine tree behind the one that I already painted, I'm using the same mix as before, but I also use a thinner consistency this time because I want it to look more pastel. As you can see, the color doesn't look so clean, and this is a perfect example of the areas which would look much better painted in gouache. Now moving on to the bushy trees again. This time I used a mix of Aquarius green with titanium gold ochre in a thin consistency. Then I follow it up while the surface is still wet to paint in the darker areas using the dark green from the pine tree and also using a thicker version of the previous mixture. While painting the darker areas at the bottom here, I try to be very careful to not go over the lighter areas that I've already painted previously, so you can see the separate layers of those trees. I'm also going to paint the base color for the trees on the right hand side, and I'm going to move on to paint the pine tree after this, just so I have time to wait for these ones to dry. I'm going to use the same color as this pine tree that I painted before, but this time I'm using a medium consistency because I felt like the lighter color just didn't really do it. The pastel didn't really turn out the way I wanted to. There's also another option of mixing bleed-proof white into the green to make it look more pastel and more like gouache consistency, but I don't know why I didn't really think of it before. So you guys can also do that if you would like to. I also felt like the composition still looked a bit flat, so I ended up adding a smaller pine tree at the back. This time I used the lighter consistency of the same mix that I used before, so it looks like it's placed further back. Now that I've painted the base color of all the trees at the back, I'm going to leave them to dry since that whole area is fairly wet. Meanwhile, I'm going to paint the moss on the sea rocks. For the moss, I used a mix of titanium gold ochre with sap green. Then at the bottom, I follow it up with a light consistency of gray. The color ended up looking a bit too cold for my liking since it kind of mixed with the light green. So for the rock on the right hand side, I added a bit of cobalt blue hue to turn it into a bluish gray instead. As for the darker value, I just add graphite gray into the gray. For the house itself, I'm going to just use titanium gold ochre. I wish this was a bit lighter though, but I know if I use a lighter consistency, I feel like the paint won't look as flat. So I'm just using a medium consistency here to paint the whole area. As for the roof, I use a thick consistency of crimson lake. Next, I'm going to create a brown for the door. For this, I use a mix of crimson lake with graphite gray and titanium gold ochre, and I used a medium to thick consistency to paint the door. Don't forget to also paint around the fence. For the windows, I used a bit of cobalt blue hue mixed with graphite gray and the greens that I already have on my palette. Next, I'm going to paint the base of the island. I used the same brown mix, but I added more titanium gold ochre. So the brown becomes a little bit lighter than the door, and I'm just going to paint this flatly across the whole island as the base color. I tried to make the bottom uneven so the surface doesn't look too flat in terms of composition, and it also adds a little bit of depth to the edges of the island. Now I'm going to let that dry and move on to paint the branches of the tree. For this, I used the same brown mix again, but I added some sepia to darken the brown. I also switched to my small brush and used a thick consistency with a light load on my brush in order to create those really thin lines. For the stems of the pine trees, because they're much taller than the other trees, I made them a bit thicker. And now I'm also going to build up the colors of the tree, giving it more layers to add more depth. In terms of the color, I used a bit of Terra Verde mixed into the greens that I already had on my palette just to change up the tone. Next here, I'm adding lines for the texture in front of the house. And for this, I added titanium gold ochre to the brown that I already had on my palette to create a darker version of the yellow. In terms of the dock, I used the same brown that I already had again, with more Crimson Lake and Sepia in the mix to create a darker reddish brown. Then I just used Sepia to paint the edges. Since I've painted most of the elements, I'm going to start adding some details and textures. So here I'm just adding some really thin lines to add some texture to the pine trees. I also forgot that there's actually a tree in front of the pine tree at the back, so I made sure to change up the color to remind myself to separate those two elements. As for the two pine trees on the right hand side, I decided to elongate the stem right in the middle of the tree and also paint some branches using the same brown for the stem. This just adds more of an illustrative feel to the style, but you can also add other types of textures for yours if you have any other ideas. Here I'm just going to define the moss using the same green mix as before. Then after that, I'm going to add some grass textures using a dark green mix. And I'm just going to indicate the grass by painting some really thin lines. Since the house is completely dry, now I'm going to add the framing of the windows, the door, as well as the roof using bleed proof white. And I am using my small brush here because it's quite difficult to get those really thin lines with a thick consistency of this paint. If you have a white pen, I think that'll actually be easier to paint these types of details. So you can go ahead and do that if you have access to a white pen. For the fence here, I just sort of cleaned out the edges with bleed proof white. Then I added a tiny bit of Crimson Lake to the bleed proof white to create this pink color. I feel like the value and the color of the bush and the house is a bit too close, so here I picked up some darker green that I already had on my palette to line the edges of the bush and also added some textures. I wanted to add some lighter grass colors, so here I added bleed proof white into the light green mix that I already had, and here I'm using a thick consistency to paint some of those lighter grass textures. Now that the base of the island is completely dry, here I'm going to add some textures to make it look a bit more three-dimensional. I'm using the same brown as before, but in just a slightly thicker consistency and also with more sepia in the mix. Here I'm creating some angled lines and filling some of those shapes. This way it will create a little bit of depth and it'll look like parts of the land is going inwards and outward. I'm also going to use the same dark brown mix with added sepia in a very thick consistency to paint the support for the dock. And for the planks on the dock, I'm just going to add bleed proof white into the brown mix to make it light and opaque, and I just paint some thin lines. Now moving on to the stones, I just use a mix of graphite gray with gray of gray to paint on some dots along the sides, and then I smudged it with a clean damp brush to create those uneven textures. Then with a thin consistency of the same color and a light brush load, I just sort of made these curved lines along the curvature of each of the stone, then finished it off with more of those dots that I'm not going to smudge this time. For some added pop of color, I'm going to paint some starfish freehand using a thick consistency of Crimson Lake and also a large yellow one by using titanium gold ochre in a very thick consistency as well. Here I'm using Crimson Lake in a very thick consistency to paint on dots in front of the house bush. This will just depict some flowers to again add that pop of color. And here I'm just sort of defining some of the trees because I felt like the edges weren't clear enough. And I'm also going to use bleed proof white to add some textures or light textures on the trees as well as the larger pine trees. I just find that the whole painting looks a bit too heavy, so I just need a bit of white to lighten it. The value of the fence as well as the house is a bit too similar, so here I decided to use a bit of that dark brown in a very thick consistency and a light brush load to line the edges and separate those two elements. Now I'm going to add some details to the house as well. I'm relining those lines using a bit of white, just so there's some highlight and shadow. I'm also going to add some frames or shadow of the frames using the dark brown mix. Next is my favorite part, which is to paint the water. Here I added cobalt blue to some of the greens that I already had on my palette just to mute the color slightly, and I also added a bit of gray. I'm using a medium to thick consistency and a heavy brush load here, so I have a lot to work with since I'm going to spread the color quite a bit. In terms of the application, I'm working really closely to the island and the stones that I'm just going to surround with water. I'm painting on fairly thin lines in different weights. I'm just lining the edges a couple of times while leaving out some white negative space in between to create some water reflections. Then I follow up with a heavy brush load and a medium to thick consistency again to paint the rest of the water surrounding the island to frame the whole composition together. While doing this, I want to make sure the edges are clean, and I also want to leave out some white negative space here and there for the water reflections. Once I'm done, I'm going to use a slightly thinner consistency than before to paint some of the water behind the island so it looks further away. Finally, I'm going to reline the edges of each of the elements again using a thick consistency of blue to give that transparent effect of the water, so part of the island as well as the stones look like they're underwater. And then I'm going to finish off this part of the painting using bleed-proof white to paint water foam or the reflections again along the edges. I feel like I'm pretty much done, but there's something about this painting that felt a bit cold and flat in terms of the overall colors to me. So I ended up mixing some Crimson Lake to some of the greens, and I'm just going to glaze warmer versions of parts of the elements here by mixing Crimson Lake into the initial color, whatever part of the painting it is. This is optional though, you don't have to do this adjustment if you're already happy with the colors of your painting. I'm also going to add darker versions of the green to paint in between the trees to give more depth, and also use some orange mixtures to glaze on parts of the trees just for a bit of extra variation. And lastly, I also decided to add some birds because I feel like this adds to the diagonal composition of the whole painting. So here I'm just going to keep adjusting the colors and adding the darker values until I'm happy with the overall balance as well as the depth. At the back, I decided to add extra trees for a bit more height, and this time I'm not going to add details to these trees because I want them to look like they're further back at the island. Lastly, I felt like the color faded too much here, so I'm just going to reline the extra detail of the branches using the dark brown mix, and that's pretty much it. Again though, if I were to paint something in the style again in the future, I would definitely try it with gouache instead, since gouache gives such a nice illustrative feel to the painting and I don't really have to worry too much about things bleeding into other parts of the painting. But anyway, like usual, all the list of tools as well as my social media links will be in my description box. If you guys like what you see here, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!